Okay, now what we want to do is to do the part uh, B, and the part B is this: using draw on the same graph sheet and using the same as is the graph relation y and then the second y. So you have two y's. Now the first one is what you have calculated the values, and the second y we haven't calculated the values. So since you need to draw both, so what we need to do is we need to calculate the values for the second one. But well, now what I've done is I've already, this is the typical graph sheet you use for all your examinations. So if you look at this, you always need to understand you have 13 lines running up and down, and then 11 running left and right. So you want to find a way to do the scaling very well. So if you don't want any issues, at least you know that the highest y is 6, and so going to the top you can have 1 unit to 2 centimeters, and that will give you 6 values, and then the bottom can be anything. You the maximum actually the minimum value is actually -1.5, so even -2 take care of it. Some of you are good enough, you can actually scale the graph a little lower, but this is perfectly fine. And then also on the x-axis, the highest value you have is 5, and you have -3. So it is important, you can always go to in -5, and you have also 11. So if you look at the numbers, they are just about maybe 9 or 10 of them. Then each unit can have one. So you always have to plan it that way. All right. So here I think on this axis here I can see here I have my um, 2 centimeters here. I can just actually type it here: 2 centimeters equals 1 unit for this one, and I'm just going to put it somewhere here, right? This for on the x-axis, and here is the same thing. I said 2 centimeters equals 1 unit also. That takes care of the scaling for the y-axis, and you can label this. I'm going to label this section here. I'm going to label this section. This is my x-axis. This is my x-axis. I'm just going to put the x-axis a little down here. This is my x-axis, and this is my y-axis. I'm going to put the y-axis also here somewhere. So my y-axis. I mean, you need to do all this so that you don't lose any points. All right. So this is my y-axis. Now I'm going to draw the line. I have not drawn the y-axis line very well, so I'm just going to show you how you can also draw this. So I'm just going to come here and draw my y-axis line very well here. You see my y-axis view. So I'll draw my y-axis. My y-axis is starting from here, so I'm just going to draw the line passing through 0 to this point here, and that will be my y-axis, right? Okay, so now I have this. I have my sheet. So let's do the second one. The second one is y is equal to, let me come back here. Let's do this one here. Let's just clean this one and take a brush. We see y is equal to -1/2 I think it's -half x, something like that. That is where x. So it's straightforward here. You can come back and say, well, if this is true, then I can actually come and say that uh, when x is equal to 0, my y is equal to 0 also. I think you see that clearly. That is 1. So I have the point 0, 0 passing through that line. And then when x is equal to 1, y becomes -half, right? So I also have 1 and -half passing through. So I have you know, this is a straight line. Y is, this is the typical y is equal to mx plus c equation, which is the equation of a straight line. So you need only 2 points to draw it. So I have 2 points. I have this point here, and I have this point here. So I have this point here, which is just 0 0 as my point here. I'm gonna take this as one of my points that I will use to do my graphing. This just 0 0, and also this point here will also be my point x and y. So I can do that and draw my graph. So, but I'm gonna start with this, the first one. So the first one, the first equation, we call it maybe y1. When x equal to -3, y is equal to 6. So I come back here when x equal to -3, y is equal to +6. So this is going to be somewhere at this point here. And we're going to just follow the same convention we used to draw our point. So this point here, x is -3, y is equal to +6. Actually, +6 is all the way up here. I'm going. No. This is +6 is all the way up to this line here. So let's draw this line somewhere here. This is what we get. This is this right here. Here. Yeah, that point, right? That point right on top there. And then when x is equal to -2, y is equal to 2.5. -2, y is equal to 2.5, which is this point right here. X equal to -1 is equal to 0. -1, 0 is actually on this point. That's exactly where the point is. When it's equal to x equal to 1, y is equal to -2. Oh, there's a -2. Okay, -2. We brought -2. So maybe we can bring. Okay, we come back and fix that later on. And then when x is equal to 2 is -1.5, which is this point here, right here. And then when it is 3, we have 0, so it's going to be this point. And when it is 4, it's 2.5. The 2.5 is here. And then when it is 5, is 6. So 5 is 6. You come back to this point. That point, right? So now, as you can tell, this is kind of showing a quadratic equation, right? For if you know how to draw a quadratic equation, that is. So let's go ahead and see if we can fit the graph to it. So I'm going to come back here and try and fit the graph to it like this. So we're going to start from here. Let's change the color of the pencil. Maybe let's make it red so we can do it. So I'm going to come back here. Let's do this one here. Yeah. So let's draw this. Generally, you can have this, let me draw this one. So let's draw. I'm gonna draw like this. Let's come back here and draw this line like this. There we go. There we go. So that's our line. Even though it's not gonna pass through the lines, it's okay. Then you have your equation. Now the next thing we want to do is now we need to draw when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So and I'm gonna change the color of this so we can actually have this in a different line. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, and that will be this point, right? That's a 0 0. Y is equal to x is equal to 1, y is equal to -half. X is equal to 1, y is equal to -half. -half is actually this point here. You see, that will be this line here. Now this one is a straight line, so it's straightforward. You can, so I want to draw a straight line. You just put your ruler and join the 2 points and then extend it anyhow you want. So I'm going to take this point here and pass it through this point. Yeah, and that is also, now I can extend this line and I can also extend this line where I want. It's just that I have to make it pass through those 2 points and 0 0. Right, so I have the two lines. See, so that is how you do. So this one, the green one, is the second equation, and the red one is the first equation. So that is how you draw it. And then it is good to label the 2 points. So if you call this one the first one, then I can say, I can come back and say maybe this is equal to, I can put this is equal to y is equal to, I can just say y1. And if you say y1, then you need to define it somewhere, and then I can call this one here y2. And you need to let the examiner know that y2 is equal to that equation. So generally you write y2 is equal to this, y1 is equal to this. Alright, so that is how you solve this problem. We see you in the next video.